This week, I got two requests for feedback from two pretty different groups of people. One was for a senior living center that my mom has been staying at for the last couple months, and that was really easy to write. It was a great experience. The food was good. She could get her nails done. Like all the stuff was pretty good. So I pulled that out really quickly. The second one was for feedback for a college campus tour that we had taken last week with my son. He's going into his senior year and looking at engineering programs. So we planned the tour, a general tour, an engineering tour. The morning tour was amazing. The tour guide was great. He was engaged. He was interested. He was personable. He really connected with the students and the families, gave us more information than I ever could have imagined, even about things that weren't typically part of the script, but things that were from friends that he knew and created over the time that he had been at school. We took a break for lunch and then had a tour in the afternoon for the engineering school, which was really the crux of what we wanted to do. And the tour guide was flat. He was new, he was nervous, he had a really big crowd, he had some, I'm going to call them hecklers in the audience. He was not sure, kind of keeping on schedule. He didn't connect all the dots the same way. The reason that we chose this school was because of a unique program that they have for engineering, and he didn't capitalize on that at all. He kind of glossed over it in a couple of sentences over an hour and a half. So it just felt really sort of plain. Interestingly, the school reached out and had heard my experience based on some other factors that aren't relevant, but reached out to me a couple of days ago and asked me for my feedback. And so I gave it to her. And I was really careful to do it because I think in the work that I do as a career coach and inspirationalist is to help people find the right kinds of opportunities for them. And on paper, these two tour guides probably looked fantastic and equal, right? They had good experience on campus. They were the right, had been there long enough to be able to share the information. They were excited to share what they wanted to do. And not all of these things necessarily come through on a resume. But the interview is like the sweet spot, right? Where you get that piece that's more than just what you have done, but why you want to do it. So I talk about this a lot with my clients, right? Not just can you do the job, do you have the basic qualifications to do it, but are you interested in doing it, and are you a fit? Are you going to be somebody that's going to be able to, in this case, engage the parents and the potential students to make sure that this is the right thing? So I was really careful as I gave this feedback, and I was really I was a tour guide on campus, so I get it. Like, I get what he was going through, and my personality was more in line probably with the first tour guide than the second tour guide. But it made me just sort of think about what and how we get into jobs. And just because you can do it doesn't mean you want to do it, or doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. So I think this was an example of that, right? The first, like I said, the first feedback that I gave was really easy because it was good. And sometimes we get into that sticky spot where things don't fit quite the same way. We get to sort of that round hole, square peg, round hole. You get what I mean? That it becomes a little more sticky. And I wanted this to be a learning experience, not like, hey, we had, a not great experience, but I wanted to give some pretty specific feedback. So I have about a page and a half of pretty specific feedback. It was difficult, but easy to write, if that makes sense. So I guess what's the message here? I wanted to, as you think about what you want to do, don't just think about whether you match and check all the boxes, but is it something you really want to do? Is it something you can do well? Is there a way that second tour guide could have contributed to the admissions process for engineering without giving a tour to 25 people, including these couple of hecklers? So what is it that you might be able to do, and not just what you're doing it, but what you're doing, but how you're doing it? So I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to wrap this up here. So think about where you're at, right? Think about the things that you have done, the things that sort of click well and the things that maybe don't. And maybe the things that you do that are similar to peers of yours, classmates, coworkers, family members, and how do you do things a little different? What's your magic? What do you bring to the table? And how can you make that yours?